Good morning. Boy, I'll tell you, the first hints of winter are here. Man, you can just feel it in the air. It's just cold, and man, these changes of season, and the changes that we all experience, and there's always it's amazing how we can get through them all. A couple weeks ago, Tina and we had resigned our church of 18 years, and it was really tough, but because of all the connections and all that. But so we stayed home that Sunday, probably in the first time in a long time. We did nothing. We just stayed home and live streamed preachers, and which is really really good. I mean, man, there are some good ministers out there. I thought, and there's a guy out of Bismarck and out of Evangel. He's a pretty good kid, but and my son, we hardly ever get to hear him because we're always running on Sunday, and to be honest, we just hardly even get a chance to hear our own son, and it was so good. He has such a good message, and it made me realize, I thought, wow, I could really get used to this. I mean, I could just sit on my couch and live stream these guys and enjoy it, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute. The Bible says, do not forsake the gathering of the saints, so can't do that. And I suppose when you really think about it, it's likening to a big campfire, and you're out in the trees watching it, just kind of not even really being part of it. And so, yeah, of course, we've got to go to church. So anyway, but anyway, these changes that we're going through sometimes they're hard, and every one of us go through them. We're in a relationship, and whatever it is, there's, these changes, and nobody likes changes. We get comfortable. And it reminded me of a story of a prophet and he went to the king, and he was just an evil king, Ahab, just a bad guy, just a mess. And he goes to him and says, it ain't going to rain for a while, buddy. It's going to be kind of dry. And then he goes out into the wilderness, and God takes him to the brook of Cherith, and God supplies everything for that prophet. I mean, he drinks out of the brook. The ravens bring in food in the morning, in the evening, and I thought, wow, he probably thought, like, I'm on a sabbatical here, I'm just enjoying nature. Everybody's leaving me alone, and oh man, I'm just having time with God. But God decided it was time to move. In the quickest, fastest way, he dried up the brook. And when that brook dried up, we're in a drought, and when that brook dried up, it forced Elijah to move. And it's kind of exciting because he went from that brook, and God heard the cry of a widow woman and her son that didn't have no food left because of the drought, and they were going to die. And he hears the prayer. He dries up that brook, and Elijah's forced to move. And he goes to that woman and to that son, her child, and brings life. And all she had was just a little bit of cake left, not even enough for her and her son. And she gives it to this prophet. And he eats it. I mean, he don't, yeah, this is all good. He's not, saying, oh man, you better eat it. No, he eats it. And, but she never lacked for food again. And I thought, sometimes, in our lives where, things will happen, and it seems like, man, I was doing so well, or things were going so good, and then all of a sudden your brook dries up. And sometimes it's not a bad thing. Sometimes God's moving you to a new place to bring life to somebody that maybe you never even knew. And so I was really encouraged by that. I thought, God, life is hard. I look around and you see what people are going through, and life is brutal, and everybody has that anticipation of the end. They're all going to die. And we're all just trying to get through and trying to encourage and trying to make another day. And yet, in reality, that we can bring hope and life to somebody else. And sometimes the things that we're doing are the things that are even comfortable for us. Sometimes they get removed. move us to bring life somewhere else. So I just pray for you. I don't know what you guys, what you're going through, and maybe somebody didn't keep a promise. Maybe something just completely turned your world upside down. Maybe this coronavirus, whatever it is. But always look, because maybe God's doing something in your life to bring life to somebody else. And I want to encourage you with that, And so God bless you. You have a great day.